Greetings and salutations. All right, one more entry for tonight. So, biggest fears: death by fire. Been there, done that. Don't want to do it again. Hated it. Don't ask. But yeah, fire. I love, as much as I love campfires. I do. I love campfires. I have had since childhood in very, very deep fear of dying in a fire. Um, there's yeah, when we had like the safety practices, things like that in grade school, it was traumatizing. It was rough. Um, so that is my biggest fear is getting caught in an inescapable fire and stuff like that. So that's big fear number one. But the fear that I actually deal with the most is my fear of loss, especially loss of a loved one, loved ones. Um, been through it. Obviously everyone, we go through it. We lose our grandparents, our aunts, uncles. Eventually, some of us lose our parents. Thankfully, both mine are still alive. Albeit we're not close as much as I would be nice to be, but that is one of those. That's one of those rough ones. Loss of the kids is something. It's like every parent wants to outlive their children, and they do. But I did actually experience, so with my oldest, due to circumstances, we'll leave it at that right now because it's a much longer story. In 2010, my oldest and I had a huge, huge rift and didn't speak for 16 months, and that was excruciating. Excruciating. In 2018, I had my placement got changed. Again, circumstances, much longer story. And so my munchkins and I did not see each other as often as I would have wanted to be. And that was a very, very deep, hard loss to deal with. I've also had the loss of a couple men that I fell in love with. My high school sweetheart in particular. When we reconnected as adults, went through some horrible breakups. 2015, 2018, and 2019. You'd think I would have learned, but I didn't. Anyhow, but those were very, very traumatic. And then lost a very, very close friend just over a year ago. That I still miss. I still miss the conversations, the connection, everything. Those are hell. I bring this up because right now, I have, every so often I have friends that are going through something similar. And those are the times that I kind of open up to, I know exactly the hell that you're feeling. I don't have the optimistic advice that time heals all wounds. It doesn't. What I've learned is you find ways to function with the pain. The pain is there. It's permanent. It's deep. It is hell on earth. It really is. Um, I've learned different ways to cope with it so that I can keep functioning. But there have been times where I'm not eating, not sleeping, not functioning. That it's more like a situational depression, but it's a deep, deep, deep one. And I've been lucky where I've had friends that I can open up to and talk to, thank God, and that will help pull me back up and out and will give me different techniques and ways to cope with it. For me, I use music a lot for everything, whether it's a good mood, bad mood, sad mood. Music is my go-to. I really do rely on music heavily on a daily basis. The other one that I use is to help me cope is art, being creative in any way. Creative writing is hard because yeah, I have to be in the right frame of mind to actually like I can produce a rhyming poem sometimes within 5 to 10 minutes. It's actually kind of cool sometimes, but it has to be inspired. It has to be felt. It has to be pouring out. Short stories a little bit easier to churn those out, but they do take time. So I found doing things like the abstract painting gives an immediate sense of creativity. My advice is when these really sad, horrible, hell on earth moments happen and you feel destructive, try to be creative instead. Try to take the pain and the anguish that you're feeling and turn it into some type of creative pour, emotional pour instead. Because yes, the emotions are entirely overwhelming and will drown you. And so take that tidal wave, if you will. The reason why transcending cascade is named the way it is because that's what it feels like. It feels like a cascade, and so transcend it, change the course of how that wave of emotions is pouring over you, and pour it through you instead. Pour it through you, pour it out into a creative fashion of some kind. Build something, make something, create something. plant something, just do something, dance it away, sing it away, paint, write, you know, but do something, creative with it. Pour the emotions through you because you can't repress them. Tried that, been there, done that. Doesn't work. Um, and yes, crying is one of the best things in the world because it allows your body and your mind and your heart and your soul to feel everything. And you do need to feel it. You need to feel the happiness along with the sadness. One can't exist without the other. That's the whole reason we know what happiness is because we know what sadness is, and vice versa. So that is my, deep advice for tonight is I've been in your shoes a lot, and I don't like being in your shoes, but it happens. It is part of life. Death, loss, all of it is how things go. Always let the ones that always let the ones that you love know that you love them, because you never want to risk not being able to tell them at some point. You want to be able to express it somehow. And if you do miss the opportunity, light a candle, say a prayer, whatever spirituality that you tap into, but do it because you have to. You have to let the people that you love know that you love them. It is very vital and very important. And that is tonight's. So, take care. All the best. More eventually. Enjoy.